Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. This is a special class today, a reading class, all about the topic of leisure at the workplace. In other words, how you socialize, make small talk, network. How do you do that? Well, you probably talk about things other than work, at least partly. So we've been working on that as a skill in this unit. And today we're going to do a little reading to improve your vocabulary about the topic of leisure time, particularly in the context of work. So I'm going to share that with you right now. I'm going to open that and put it on screen. And while I'm doing that, quick introduction. I'm Jon-Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. And I'm an American teacher from New York, coming at you from Lisbon, Portugal today doing this class. Now, if you click that link in the Verbling chat window, you can follow me to see all my upcoming classes by clicking the follow button. All my upcoming group classes. I've taught over 1,000 classes since joining Verbling in February 2013, but I've taught over the last 15 years in the classroom to teens, adults, and business English in companies, and for the last 4 years exclusively online, and for the last 2 years mostly here on Verbling. You can also book a private tutoring session with me, and I will custom tailor a learning program to your needs. Okay, just send me a message and I'll find time for you in my schedule. Okay, that's the plan. Let's talk about today's class. Now on the screen you will see the notes in just a second. Open this. If you click on that link, you will see, give me just a second to open this for you. You will see our notes with this red graphic that says Getting Results in Business. Let's do a quick review before we do anything else. I'm going to scroll down right now to page, you can see this summary of class 7, that was yesterday, Wednesday. And as you can see, we reviewed the past simple and present perfect in asking and talking about leisure time. So we worked on the verb tenses yesterday. And we started to play a game called Corridor Conversations to test your key phrases for small talk. The game didn't go quite as planned, but we'll have a chance to do it again now that we know how it works. Not today, but in the future. We're going to play that again. And I'm going to do more business games anyway, because I think it's maybe more fun and you have more of a chance to practice your English in a light, happy, fun kind of way. So from yesterday's class, now you can use different forms of the past as well as your key phrases to socialize and ask about life outside of the office. Now what? Well, the now what is, remember that the simple past, did, has a defined time reference, and the present perfect, have done, does not have a defined time reference. And the only exception is if you use the word since. Since can specify a time inside of a period of time. That's what we learned yesterday. Okay, just so you know where we are. We played the game, but what we're going to do to finish the course, this unit, is something a little different. We're going to go to a reading, and when we discuss the topics that come up, you'll have a chance to use your key vocabulary from the unit. Okay? And if not, you're going to learn lots and lots and lots of new vocabulary anyway. Okay? So let me just get this on screen. Okay, and by the way, if you want that link and you don't have it open, I'm putting it in the chat window right now where it says open this. Second, open this. So, welcome back everyone. Tanya, Rebecca, Cornell, Alexander, very nice to see you. Luigi, long time no see. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
And Lena, I think you're new.
Nice
Hello.
to see you.
Hello, Lena. Are you new?
Hello, yes, I'm new. It's my first session with you. Hi. Hi all.
Hello, Lena. And where are you from, Lena?
I'm from Germany.
From Germany. Okay,
Yes.
very good, very good. Now, these business classes are basically conversation classes, basically. So you can come and go as you like, but they do follow a pattern. And every other Monday, I start a new topic, and we have 8 lessons on that topic, and each lesson ends with the speaking activity. One lesson out of that group is a reading class, and today we're going to do the reading class in the topic of leisure time. In the business context, it's still about how you would talk to someone about what you do outside of the office. Okay, so we're going to read together and we're going to discuss this article, and I'm going to test you on some of the new vocabulary that you learn. So let's take a look. Look at that link if you want to see it close up. And we're going to read this article together, Shifting the Balance. All of these are real articles from the Financial Times or The Economist or major publication in the business press. It's two pages long, so it's pretty short. I'm going to ask you a few comprehension questions, and yeah, a few of these, but mostly we're going to have a discussion afterwards and use the new vocabulary. Okay? And I think that's all we need to know for now. So while we're doing that, I'm just going to open this on my screen, it's on my computer as well. I don't have this open. So if I seem distracted, it's just because I'm opening something on my computer. Okay, so let's get started. Let's everyone take a paragraph, ask any question you like along the way, and I'll ask you a few questions as well. Give me just a second. I need to open one thing before we start. See if I can do this quickly. Hold on a second. And I can't do it quickly. I don't think I can. My computer's a little bit slow right now. I think we're going to start reading first, and then I have a little warm-up activity, but I don't have my material open on my computer. So why don't we start reading first, and then I'll come back to the warm-up, okay? Okay, shifting the balance. We're talking about, let me ask you, what balance can we talk about if we're talking about work and leisure time? What balance do you think we're talking about in this article, class? Make it an educated guess. What balance do you think we're referring to?
I don't know.
Speak, Lena. Speak.
You know, to have the chance to work mornings, afternoons, or evenings.
Okay, so your schedule, balancing your schedule. Yeah. And Lena, what did you write?
Not always a permanent hours.
Flexi time.
Yeah.
Okay. And Lena, what did you write in the chat window?
Hi, I wrote work-life balance.
Exactly, work-life balance. Exactly. Sorry, I'm trying to open something on my computer and it's getting stuck. This is frustrating. So, never mind. We'll just start reading. But anyway, Lena, you're absolutely right. I think that's one kind of balance. The main is work-life balance, which is how much free time you have versus how much work you do. And Rebecca, the other kind, flexibility in your schedule, or maybe even working on a flexi-time contract. Could be. Well, let's find out. Mr. Alexander, want to take the first paragraph for us? What do you think, Alexander? Are you there? Hello, Alexander? Hello, Alexander? He's not there. How about
He's
you?
sleeping.
He's sleeping. How about you, Tanya? Why don't you take it?
I read the first.
Yeah,
First?
we're all going to take one. Why don't you take the first one for us, please?
Okay. It is estimated that shift works make up 17% of world's workforce, and the figure is rising to accommodate the growing 24-hour culture. But is work shifts bad for your health? Well, if you are a woman, then the answer might well be yes. Recent research in Denmark suggests that women who work shifts, especially night shifts, are more likely to be forced into early retirement than men.
Okay, very
Continue.
good. Very good. Hang on just a second. I just want to hear you repeat one or two words for pronunciation.
Okay.
What was it? Okay, 24-hour culture. Culture.
24-hour culture.
That's right. The L is not really pronounced in the word culture. So cold.
Okay.
That was
Culture.
one. And accommodate.
Accommodate.
Accommodate. That's right.
Accommodate.
Okay, very good. So, is this about work-life balance based on the first paragraph? What do you think, class? Did Lena have the right idea? Are we talking about work-life balance? Yes? No? Maybe?
Maybe. No, I don't know.
What do the rest of you think? Is anyone in the classroom? I see you're all there, but I don't hear anyone talking.
Yeah, yes, I agree. It's
Okay.
work-life balance. How
Yeah.
it affect our
Yeah, I think Lena got it right.
But
So-
I don't agree with the second paragraph regarding survey in Denmark because both men and women are not advantage the night shifts.
The second paragraph, or you mean the research from Denmark?
Yes.
The research from Denmark.
Yeah.
Recent research in Denmark suggests that women who work shifts, especially night shifts, are more likely to be forced into early retirement than men. Okay, but I'm curious. What do you remember? That's research, right? So they had to get some empirical evidence. But what do you disagree with?
That night shifts night shifts affect equal on men and women.
Equally.
Equally, yeah, sorry.
Okay, but we're going to find out more about it. Because it's been a while since I've read this, so I don't remember all the details. But we'll find out more about it. Why do you think that the research might suggest that it affects women more than men? And it's better to ask the women this question, because they know. So, Rebecca, Lena, Tanya, why do you think this research, before we're going to read it, of course, but what do you imagine might affect women more than men regarding working a night shift? And when we say work night shift, what hours are we talking about, do you think? Tanya, Lena, Rebecca?
I don't understand the question. Could you say it again, please?
Look at the last sentence. Recent research in Denmark suggests that women who work shifts, I said night shifts, that was my mistake, sorry. Women who work shifts, especially night shifts, are more likely to be forced into early retirement.
Well, it's saying that women who has to work during the night, it was for them. than for women.
It's worse for them. Now, why do you think this research? Why do you think the research suggests that particular outcome? Why do you think night shifts affect women more than men? We don't know. We're going to read about it, but I'm curious. It's better to ask the women in the class because you know better than us men. Why might it affect women more to work at night? Why would you have to retire early? To be forced into early retirement. By the way, notice the sentence, be forced into early retirement. That means you don't have a choice. Interesting.
I don't know.
Rebecca, Lena, what do you think? I'm just not sure.
I think women are, well, no weak, but our body is not the same as the man body. So for us, working during the night, has a huge impact in our body.
Could be, yeah, it could be. So maybe there's a genetic difference. Maybe, yeah. Lena, what do you think? What do you think, Lena?
I'm not sure, just I noticed myself when I go to sleep earlier, then I feel myself better next day. I feel more concentrated. Just for example, if I go to sleep at 22, 23 o'clock, then next day I feel more energy.
Right,
and
right.
It's just my feelings. I don't know.
By the way, to say the time in English we don't have a culture of 24-hour time. So instead of saying 22, we would say 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, or 11 p.m. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because if you say that to an English-speaking person, they won't understand what you mean, probably. They'll say, 22, what is that? So it could be that. It could be that maybe it has a greater impact on women because women go through, for example, men don't really go through menopause, right? So the body there's a drastic change that men go through in a much slower way. So it could be that. Now, another clue in the text is, I'm saying this because I want you to notice how the words lead to a particular meaning, how there's a suggestion in the words here. It says that they're more likely to be forced. If they're forced, that could mean that the boss is doing the forcing, not the situation. So it could go either way. It could be something physical and they have no choice, or it could be an authority making them do it. So we don't know, but we're going to find out, okay? Luigi, why don't you take our next one, paragraph 2.
Okay, there has long been concern that shift work can be linked to a range of health problems, including increased risk of heart disease, breast cancer, peptic ulcers, sleep disturbance, complications in pregnancy, and accidents, as well as the obvious factors like lack of sleep and sunlight deprivation. Poor diet and lack of exercise have also been blamed for this ill health.
Very good. So Rebecca, I think you were correct. I think that's what the article is talking about. By the way, Luigi, pronunciation, linked.
Linked.
That's right. And another word maybe is accident. We need to hear a K sound. Accident.
Okay. Accidents.
That's it. So because there's 2 C's especially, the first one sounds like a K, kappa. Accident. And I'll put a little K in the chat window so you can review it later. So Rebecca, it sounds like you're on the right track. Higher incidence of breast cancer. Obviously, women are more susceptible to breast cancer than men. Men can get it, but much less likely. Rebecca, why don't you take the next paragraph for us on the top of the right side?
Okay. Shift workers tend to snack rather than eat square meals, says Dr. Nina del Mastro, a doctor who has researched the effects of shift work on the health problem. This means their meals tend to be high in fat and caffeine, and they often don't get their daily allowance of vitamins. A study into the effects of shift work on health reports that 77% of extended hours workers said they were getting no regular exercise.
Let's pause there for just a second. Okay. First, are there any words that you don't know?
Yeah, the one allowance.
Allowance. So the minimum amount is the allowance. The minimum amount. The minimum amount you need.
Uh-huh.
Is that clear? For example,
it's like an amount, but in
the least amount, the minimum, the least amount you need is your allowance. You can have more, but you must have, for example, what is, class, not just Rebecca, but all of you, what do you think is your allowance of calories if you're an adult? What's your allowance of daily calories? What do you imagine?
I think this is more than for adults because
well, no, but just to clarify the word allowance, Alexander.
Yes, maybe 2,000.
Maybe 2,000. Okay. Luigi, were you saying something?
Yes, I would say 2,000.
Yeah, around 2,000. Yeah. Okay. So your allowance maybe is a suggested amount. I think when they did studies a long time ago to see what the minimum was, for example, when they were rationing calories during World War II, they had to study the minimum amount. I think it was about half that, or 1,300 or something like that. So the allowance would be, maybe in this case, the suggested amount. 2,000 is probably around normal, something like that. Percentage-wise, maybe fat is, a certain percent, and protein is another percentage. It's divided up. So calories from fat, calories from sugar, or carbohydrates. Okay? So allowance is the suggested amount. Okay, are there any other difficult vocabulary words from the beginning until now? Are there any other words we should clarify? Besides the words in bold, because we're going to work with those in a minute. Okay. So let's continue in that case.
Teacher, what does mean square meals?
Ah, there we go. Well, the words in bold we're going to work with in just a moment. So actually, I'm going to kind of test you, and I want you to look at the context to try to see if you can figure it out. So I'm not going to define those right now, but if you, in 5 minutes, we're going to go over all of them. So look at the context, see if you can figure it out, and I'll give you a few definitions, and we'll match them up. So let's see, who's next? Alexander, why don't you take the next one? She stops on line 29, I think. So you take line 30.
The Danish study suggested that more women than men are forced to retire early due to health problems, and 34% of those women had regularly time shift work. However, the research was unable to come up with a reason why women should be more affected by working irregular or extended hours. One theory suggests that when men go home after a night shift, they sleep or eat.
What's that? Oh, sorry, I needed to turn the page. Sorry. Give me a second. They sleep or...
My suggestion was eat. No. Or relax in front of the television. But women are expected to do their domestic chores once they have got home from a long night's work. This means that they are effectively doing two jobs and not getting enough sleep.
So, as you can see, it's not just because of the hours you're working, it's because of the role that you have to play. And that's why it seems to be more tough for women. Well, we're almost at the end of the article. I want to give you all a chance to read. Let me just say a quick hello. Hello, Anna Carolina. Thanks for joining us, of course. Nice to see you.
Hi, teacher. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. And hello to Ahmed as well. Thanks for joining us, Ahmed. I'll assume that was a thank you. I don't hear anything. Can you hear me okay, Ahmed? If you can't, just write a note in the chat window and I'll help you out. All right. So, I think we're up to Tanya. Why don't you take it from 45, the next paragraph, okay? You didn't read yet, right? Because I just got lost.
Yes, I've read.
Oh, I did you already? Okay, okay.
Yes.
So I think I'm lost. Who's next? Rebecca, was it you? I lost my place. Are you next in the reading order?
I've already read.
I'm lost. I'm totally lost. I lost my place.
Yeah, I've already. Yeah, me.
Lena. Oh, it's Lena. I'm sorry, Lena. You're next. Got it. Take it from 45, please, Lena.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, from line 45 on slide 3.
Dr. Del Master has advice for employers who use shift workers. Employers can help their staff avoid the problems caused by working nights by making night shifts more pleasant, she says. Responsible employers schedule shifts to allow sufficient breaks and days off so that employees both get enough sleep and can also deal with their personal lives.
Let's take a break there for a second. Very good, very good. Just repeat after me. Schedule shifts.
Schedule shifts.
In American English, we say it with a k, schedule. In British, exactly. In British English, it's schedule. In American English, schedule.
Schedule shifts.
Good. And the other word was sufficient. Sufficient.
Sufficient.
That's right. The CI is pronounced like an SH. Shint.
Sufficient.
Good. Sufficient breaks. So Dr. Del Maestro says that if we change the way we do the shifts, then we can compensate for this impact, this negative impact that it has on us physiologically, particularly women who are more susceptible for many reasons. Let's see. I think the next in the order was Mr. Jose. So we're on line 53.
53.
Yeah.
See.
Having
Yes.
good.
53 is enough sleep, no?
53, 51, 2. No, next line. Having good. Starting there.
Okay. Having good quality lights to simulate daylight can help to keep workers feeling fresh throughout the shift. Making sure there is quality food available for their staff is another measure Dr. Del Mastro suggests. If the staff are eating properly, they will be more alert and healthier. If the company can afford catering, then they should at least provide a microwave and refrigerator or a vending machine with healthy products.
Good. Let's take a quick break there for a second. I need to hear the SH because you often are pronouncing it like an S, not an SH. So I want to hear you say, first of all, shift.
Festival shift. Shift.
That's right. Because sometimes you say sift instead of shift.
Okay. Shift. Okay.
Good. Look at line 55. Feeling fresh throughout.
Throughout.
Good. Throughout the
fresh
shift.
Throughout the shift.
That's it. And I can't remember anything else. It was more of just the SH sound. All right. Okay. Let's see if we can get Anna Carolina and Alexander to read. Alexander, I think you did one already, didn't you? Because I lost my place, so I forget who's here.
Correct.
Okay, so Anna Carolina, it's your turn. Take it from 63, where it says workers. Okay? 63 on the right side. See where we are?
Yes. Workers would, workers would also benefit from regular exercises during their shift. It doesn't have to be much, explained Del Mastro. A quick walk during the break will help to revive tired limbs and minds. Finally, workers can also benefit for training on how best to cope with the inevitable changes to their bodies and social lives.
Keep going.
If employers are worried about the cost of this, they should remember that a healthier workforce is a more productive workforce, so they will see a return on their investment.
Okay, very good. Now, there's two things that you should pay attention to its pronunciation. First, be careful not to drop the last syllable, which is a very common problem with Latin language speakers, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian. Everyone drops the last syllable. So I want to hear workers. I want to hear the at the end. Workers.
Okay, workers.
That's it. You have to exaggerate it a little bit, but it will sound normal to us, and then it'll become natural. So those little things, or changes.
Changes.
That's right. Okay? The other thing was, remember that the B is always silent inside of a word, the letter B. So, for example, in this paragraph we have limbs, the same as I wrote in the chat window, limbs, but we don't say the B. It's pronounced L-I-M-S, limbs. If we say it, particularly if we say it quickly, limbs.
Limbs.
Yep. If you say it slowly, I suppose you could say the B, but anyway, generally we don't. And another word that's similar is like the verb pentear in Portuguese or in English. To pentear, to do what with your hair? Isn't it pentear?
Brush. Comb.
Okay, comb. That's it. It's got a B in it, but we don't say the B. To comb.
What is it?
Oh, in the Verbling chat window. Sorry.
Okay, because I knew.
Yeah, but anyway, it's C-O-M-B. We don't pronounce the B.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So let's spend the rest of the class dealing with this vocabulary in different ways and talking about the issues that were raised. I think that would be the main purpose here is to use the vocabulary to discuss your ideas. So what I've got here on the next page is a little comprehension test just to make sure that the things we read are pretty much clear. So first we'll do that and then we'll start talking about all of this. And I've got some vocabulary on the next page as well. So let's do those two first. Shift work appears to affect men's health less than that of women, according to the article. Not your opinion, right? The article's opinion.
True.
It is true according to the article. That's right.
True.
Sorry, a little computer problem on my side. Hang on just a second. That was part 3. Okay. Women's health seems to be affected more. And do you recall the reasons why? Do you remember a reason why? What is it in particular about women that makes them more vulnerable?
Because women's when arrive in home need to work to do how can I say?
Begins with a CH.
Sorry?
Begins with a CH. They have to do ch.
I didn't understand.
The word begins with a CH.
Shift.
Okay. Oh my God! I forgot the word.
Lena, what's the word?
Domestic scores.
Chores.
Chores.
CHORES. Don't forget the E, Luigi. Chores. That's it. So that's one reason. Is that it's like they've got two jobs, and maybe traditionally, men are sit around and watch TV and eat, and that's about it, right? Right, Cornell? Lazy men.
I'm not sleeping. Which one?
Number 2. Almost 1/5 of workers shifts. Oh my God, I can't read.
My guess is true. My guess is true.
My guess is true. And do you have some evidence for that? You're right. It is true. Do you remember why?
No. It was only my guess.
In the text,
I don't remember any details from the text regarding regarding this point.
The text talked about 17%, I think. I think that was the figure it gave. So 17% is almost 20%, and 20% is a fifth. So it's actually true. It's a little bit of math, but it's true. So that means that you're. By the way, we never defined the word shifts, so we got to make sure that's clear. What does it mean to work in shifts, everyone? Just so I know that you know.
May I explain this?
Say again, please.
May I explain this? I'll try.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like to work at night, during the night, not during the day, as everyone works.
As everyone else works.
When your work time is changing.
Yeah, your work time is at night.
Yeah, it could be at night, but there can also be a late shift. There can be an overnight shift, and the normal shift is the day shift. So, Alexander, you're absolutely right. We don't normally call the day shift because we just take it for granted that people generally work 9 to 5 or something like that. Okay, and Jose, I agree with you as well. In some companies, you can change shifts and you get assigned, right? So when it's changing, you'll do different shifts. Sometimes they rotate. Number 3, female workers generally have a poorer diet than men, according to the article.
True.
Number 3 is true. It could be. Can you tell me why it's true?
Yes. Because they. Oh my gosh. They. They eat a lot of snacks.
Okay. Not the best quality food. Now, according to the article, I think
shift workers tend to choose snacky rather than eat square meals.
Rather than eat square meals. There's that word again. Square meals. Are square meals the same as snacks or different?
Different.
Exactly.
Square meals is healthy meals.
Healthy meals. Tanya, you now know what square meals are.
Yes.
Healthy meals. Square means that all 4 food groups are represented like a square. In each corner, you have a food group. Dairy, protein, whatever. At the time when that was created, in like the 1950s or whatever, we imagined that there were 4 food groups. Now, in fact, it's a little bit more complex. But we still use that term, square meal, meaning that each corner of the square, 4 corners, is represented in the meal. A little bit of dairy, a little bit of greens, a little bit of carbohydrates, whatever. Something like that. So, healthy meals. So for number 3, I totally agree with you, except I don't agree that it's only for female shift workers. I think the article is saying that all shift workers snack. All of them do. It affects women more, but both men and women have a poorer diet. Okay, so it's all shift workers, but we can imply from that women are affected much worse. Number 4, women usually get to relax after their working shift. We already know this one.
False.
False, right.
Because they have to do the chores at home.
They have to do the chores at home, or they're expected to, unless they have a really nice husband or boyfriend. That's unlikely, because men are bad. Right, Jose?
Yes.
Right? Yes. Number 5, employers will benefit from helping improve the health of their shift workers. Duh! This one's pretty obvious, right, Luigi? This is an obvious one. Right, Luigi? Luigi?
Oh. Yes, I'm here.
What do you think about number 5? The answer is pretty obvious, don't you think? Number 5?
Yes, pretty obvious. Yes.
Yeah.
If
What's
they
the
improve
answer?
the health of their workers, they will be benefit with that.
Yeah. It's got to be true. You don't even have to read the article to know it. Of course, it'll be true. Okay. So hopefully that gives you an overview of the main points of the text. Before we launch into a discussion, I want to make sure all of those words in bold are really clear. So I've given you definitions on the top of slide 5. And what I want you to do, if you can, look at the words in bold, look at the context, see if you can match them up. Now, we've already done one. We've done square meals, so that one should be pretty easy to find. Okay, but there's 7 others. So why don't we all take one? Okay, if you know it, say it. If you're not sure, pass. We can maybe come back to you. Lena, can you read the first definition for us?
Provide what somebody wants or needs.
To provide what? So this is a bold word from the text that means to provide. To provide.
Just a second.
If you need to, go back and scan the text if you have it open.
Doing it. Probably accommodate.
Accommodate is correct.
Okay, good. Thank you.
To provide is to accommodate someone. Very good. Okay, so remember, go back and look over the text again if you need to. You won't remember everything. Okay. Okay, Anna Carolina, could you read 2 for us?
Okay. Food that makes you feel satisfied.
Oh, that's easy.
Is it easy? So
yeah. It's not a good.
Square meals?
Yeah, it's not a good definition. It should say food that makes you feel healthy, not just satisfied. But yes, it's square meals. Not the best definition in this case. Jose, what about number 3?
Jobs that are not interesting, but that you must do chores.
Chores, yeah. Maybe jobs is not the best word. It should be tasks. But yeah, that's right. Very good, very good. And Rebecca, what about 4? What do you think?
4. When something cannot be avoid or prevent from happening.
This is an adjective, so it's one of the bold words that happens to be an adjective.
I don't know.
What do we just, because just go back and take a look. Skim through the text. Look at only the bold words. You can do it. You can do it, Rebecca.
Oh, can I cheat?
Of course you can cheat.
Okay.
If you get the right answer, you aren't cheating because I'm not telling you the answer. So however you get it is legitimate.
Inevitable.
Good. Inevitable.
Inevitable.
There you go. Did you cheat?
Yeah, it's too similar to Spanish.
It's not cheating. That's called making a connection. It's not cheating. It's legitimate. Inevitable. Repeat, inevitable.
Inevitable.
Inevitable. Inevitable.
Inevitable.
That's it. Very good, very good. Okay, and Cornell, what do you think about number 5?
Number 5, watching, listening, etc. for something with all your attention. My guess is alert.
Alert is correct. Oh, this is maybe too easy.
I get 1 point.
1 point. Luigi, can you get 1 point for number 6?
Give the same effect as something else. Simulate.
Simulate. Very good. That's it. This next one is a little bit tricky. Tanya, I'm going to give you the trickiest one of all. Number 7.
Suffer something being taken away.
Being taken away.
Being taken away. Let me suffer. Oh God.
It's the trickiest one of all. It's tricky, but it's one of the bold words, so the answers are there if you want to skim through it.
Suffer. Deprivation.
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 Deprivation is correct. That's it. And Alexander, what do you think about the last one, number 8?
Make somebody or something strong or healthy again. This is revive.
Revive. Okay.
I'm sorry, can you explain a little bit more about the last one?
About which one? Revive?
No, about their number 7.
Deprivation.
Yeah.
Deprivation. It would be helpful if we just look at the text first. Let's find the word in the text first and see if the context is clear. And take a look at line 18. Actually, read it for us. Could you read line 18? Factors like a lack of... See it?
Factors like lack of sleep and highlight deprivation.
Okay. So think about this, Alexander. Make a connection in your mind. What is the form of the verb? If deprivation is a noun, what is the verb form? To
Deprive.
To deprive. If I deprive you of something, do you have it or do you not have it?
It's like forbid.
It's like forbid. It's like forbid or take away or, yeah, basically, yeah. Now, sunlight deprivation. Tell me something. What kind of job, what kind of building or workspace would you work in if you suffered from sunlight deprivation? What would the room look like?
Maybe it's kind of something like nightclub where there are only how does it call? Colorful light.
Artificial light, maybe.
Yeah, artificial light.
I agree, yeah. So imagine working in a factory or something, terrible conditions, and there's no windows, and so during the day you have to use artificial light. And, you know, some people get really depressed when they don't have natural light. Natural light also, at least from what I understand, helps the body too. Like you can get, helps in the formation of melatonin, which also regulates your sleep, and vitamin D, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on this. So, lack of sunlight is sunlight deprivation. Lack of sunlight. All right. So, Cornell, let's start our discussion with you. Do you still think that men and women are equally affected? Are you convinced by this article, or are you unconvinced?
Sorry, could you please repeat it, your question slowly?
Have you changed your opinion now that you've read the article? Do you still think now that men and women are equally affected by shift work? Because in the beginning you said you disagreed, right?
Yes, my opinion is the same as before. So I wouldn't like to change my opinion regarding this topic because night shift affects on equally on men and women. Regarding retirement. So,
regarding retirement. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is negatively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So somebody who works on night shifts will go to retire earlier than other ones.
Regardless of their gender.
Yeah.
Women in the class, what do you think about Cornell's opinion? Do you disagree or do you agree? Do you think the article is exaggerating?
I believe that women have more, how can I say, a domestic shift when she arrived in home. And,
more domestic chores, you mean? More chores?
Yes, domestic chores. Yes, when we arrived in home. I believe that is in general. It's not just here in Brazil, it's in all parts of the world is the same. We have a more task to do when we arrived in home. But I agree when, how can I say, Cornell said that we don't need to be, we don't need to have a requirement. We don't need to be forced to have a requirement for that reason.
So requirement? Sorry, I didn't follow that because I couldn't hear all the audio. What do you mean requirement in this case? What do you mean?
We don't need to a specific treatment.
Okay.
Understand? A specific treatment for that reason.
Mm.
We are not better than men for that reason.
No, the article doesn't say women are better or men are better. It just says that they're more vulnerable.
But we don't. We are not. We are not. I don't believe that we are become sick for that reason.
Okay.
We're more tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we become more tired, but not sick.
Mm-hmm. And what I'd like to know what all of you think about the advice in the article. Do you think that the advice given in general is something that we should follow, or do you think that it's missing the point? Sorry.
No, I believe that we that our how can I say employers, if they make some things during the work, will become it will improve the life of workers.
Mm-hmm.
But this is good.
Or the work-life balance. Too.
Yes.
Good key word. Lena, what improvement would you make in let's say employment laws or employment regulations? What improvement would you like to see today that doesn't exist or that could be improved? Let's say that you could make the laws. What would you do?
It's a tricky question.
It is. I know. It's just an opinion.
Yes, just I don't know. Just I would try to protect more the employees. It's just regarding health and I really don't. I don't know. Just I would try to make something just. Something that just employees are more protected. So it's nothing something like they don't they will not be damaged at work. I think it's very important that the person sees just if a person has enough light. But I think usually just the companies take care about it. There are some.
Some do and some don't.
In Germany, it is, yes. Just when you come to work, and then just how you see, just that your tool, just the way you sit, just not a chair. The chair is good, and just the distance to computer should be right. But I think it also depends on the work person makes. Just one thing, in the person who works in the office, and other just he meets some dangerous risks. For example, they can receive poor eyesight or problems with back, and then person has more dangerous work when he works outside. And
Right.
just, for example, a driver or something like that, it can be compared. Just, it's a very tricky question. I don't know how to answer it.
Instead of saying dangerous, right? Another way to say that is higher risk. Higher risk. Because dangerous sounds like you're getting lions to jump through a hoop. That could be dangerous, right? But there's different degrees, so we could use the word risk in a more general way. Okay.
Yes, thank you for explanation. It's helpful.
No problem. Okay, we're actually at the end of the hour. Final thoughts about work-life balance, about leisure time, or about regulations and rules in the workplace. Final thoughts from reading this article, or about men and women. Final thoughts, class. Luigi, give us a final thought. Not letting you go until you give us a final thought.
Well, my final thought is that we have to cope with the changes when we shift our balance to make our body healthier and to cope with the changes. That's it.
And is there some way that employers could be more sensitive to this? Because I think it depends on where you work and what country, and it's not equal. I can tell you from experience.
Yes, employers will try to not spend a lot of money with that. I think they look to the employers and try to spend less money they can. In spite of this, could be more expensive in the future.
Exactly. So there has to be some incentive for them to care about it and use their budgets for it. And, hopefully, if you look at what's happening in the United States right now, if you're watching the news, you know that fast food workers have done something I think never done before, which is that people who don't even have contracts have started to go on strike. It's kind of unheard of. So you have McDonald's workers who don't really have contracts, not like in a normal job, at least, and they are walking out of their McDonald's all across the United States to get a 15-hour minimum wage. It's kind of unprecedented, because there were strikes, a lot of strikes years ago, but not like this, not for this kind of new work, this work that's not really a normal employment, normal meaning that the old, you have a contract, you work 9 to 5, you have a retirement plan or whatever. It doesn't work for fast food workers. So it's a really good example. That shift work is tough. It's not compensated. So that's one thing happening in the news that you should read about and might give you some ideas. And we can talk about it in a future class. We're going to have to leave it here, everyone. I hope the article was somewhat interesting and gets you to think. I hope you learned some new vocabulary from it. Our next business class, unless my schedule changes, will be next Monday at 11 GMT with a brand new topic. Next is security and systems. Different kind of systems you use at work, how to describe them, how to make choices in those systems, and just how to talk about them in general. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow for 2 hours from 10 to 12 GMT, learning from pictures first. The class is exactly like it says. We're going to look at pictures, learn from them, and our short story class after that, we're going to be discussing Donald Bartholin's story, the school. We've read it. We're going to be discussing it. If you want to come, it's really short, so read it before class so we can have a discussion. That's it. If I don't see you, have a great weekend, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye.
See
The
you
same to
next
you.
time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Take care.
for now. Bye for now.
Bye bye.